Welcome to The Daily Grind, a Bluff City Media daily podcast. Stepping up to the microphone is your host, Luke Hatmaker. Grab your favorite morning brew, and let's get to the show.
Nowhere to go, crazy about a sharp dressed man. Welcome to the Daily Grind. Yeah,
that's my first time.
Ready.
It's my first time hearing the intro video. Wow!
Oh.
Yep. I saw you rocking out there. Welcome to the Daily Grind. That song, which was cooler than our old song, is the theme song for the Daily Grind. I don't know. I don't think it has a name. I'm your host.
Did we ever break down Marcus Smart, Luke Kennard?
Bro, that was 2 years ago. And Derrick Rose. You forgot about Derrick Rose. It is Monday. I'm the host of the Daily Grind, Luke Hatmaker. I got my guys Parrish and Uncle Buck back from the beach. Let's go get away. That's what I should open the song with. Anyway, how are you fellas doing? We doing good? Good weekends? Good week?
Yep. Really good weekend. Yeah. Really good week, yeah. Spring break.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just glad to be back like in a normal routine. But
dude, that's the worst thing about vacation is
unpacking.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't unpack for a week. It'd be next weekend. I'd be living out of my backpack or whatever I brought for like a week. Are you finding sand everywhere still?
Well, see, we didn't go to the beach. We were outside Orlando.
Oh, that's right.
So we did pools, and so which is a lot less. It was a lot more clean.
Yeah, man. My favorite part about pools, and I'm being serious. I love cooking alive in a hot tub, even I don't care what time of year it is. You just put me like a lobster in a hot tub. Let me boil alive. I'm a happy camper.
I bet you look like a lobster when you get out of the hot tub.
Right.
Everything is this color. Everything. Yeah.
Oh, I definitely got medium well in that hot tub. You know, one of those nights. You know, after everybody there was 3 families that went. And so it was like 13 kids, 6 adults, all in this house. And so like once we all got the kids to bed, like every night, that's where we just meet. We just go to the hot tub,
yes,
and just go like,
right.
And it was just like, isn't this fun?
Man, you know what was fun, and also saw someone get well done, i.e. the Miami Heat. That's a good transition if I don't say so myself. The Grizzlies beat the Miami Heat over the weekend. And they also retired Tony Allen's jersey. Number 9 went up in the rafters. All heart, grit, grind. What up, Art? Everybody. Oh, yeah. But
oh, you set me up now, Art. You set me up now.
I saw it.
How was the energy in the building, guys? I was watching on TV. Was it the best of the jersey retirement ceremonies? Have you guys been in? I think you all were there.
I've been to all of them. Yeah, I think so. I mean, there was just something about to me, this is the one I was always looking forward to the most. And so maybe it's just my inherent bias since Tony Allen being my favorite player, but it just felt like he embodied so much emotion for the team more than it was about basketball. And it seemed like the crowd brought it on Saturday night. I thought it was electric from the tip. They do such an amazing job in game ops of like during every single media timeout, they're going back to old Tony Allen weatherman or Tony Allen this from his playing days or clips from former players and teammates and coaches during all the commercial breaks. The whole night it was Tony Allen to the point where like, don't ask me a single thing about what happened in that Miami game. It had to be the most boring win of the season. Jaren apparently had a great game. I sat through the whole game. Don't remember a single thing that happened.
I watched it on TV.
All Tony Allen.
And I didn't even put the score at the bottom because I don't want to talk about the game. I
couldn't talk about it if I wanted to. There was nothing of note that happened in that game.
Drew. So like media, right? There was nothing like I know I didn't even go down. I think maybe some media met with Terry Jenkins briefly before the actual retirement, but it was only we met with Tony Allen before the game. Got to get on the floor after the game, interview almost everyone down there, right? We ain't talking about like current players. It was just all Tony Allen night. And same thing with me. I don't remember the game. Right? I was there. Like I was there. I looked at the game. I watched the players on the court. I looked at the box scores, check. Oh, dang, Jared got 29. Oh, dang, Jared got 30. Oh, Jesse Bay almost got triple-double. Okay, cool. Oh,
Cool.
Jared going there, bam. My thought watching the game was just, I'm a Jimmy Butler fan. It's like, damn, Miami suck.
that number 22 is much worse than the last one.
They're so bad.
That was my thought on the game. I was like, bro, these folks suck.
And it was one of those things. It was like the Grizzlies got out to like a 15-point lead in the first quarter, and they never increased it. Miami never got it any closer. It's like they just traded baskets for 40 more minutes. It was just boring.
Man, I kept hoping that it was going to make it a game. For those of us watching on TV, knowing we were missing out on this, we would get the flashes of the commercial breaks, and I would just be furious. The game sucked. It was just bad. And it's so
technically, since we won, it didn't really suck.
It didn't suck.
Think about it. We haven't had a blowout win since February. So we've been having close games. So it was actually good to have that type of game on Tony out tonight.
That's a very good point.
Down to the wire, you may lost at the end type of thing.
That's an excellent point, because I can't imagine if it would have been a loss. If they retired this game on Friday or something.
I was sitting there with Rusty, so if Taylor Jenkins would have screwed something up, it would have been the most miserable experience for everyone in our section as we're trying to just enjoy Tony Allen. Rusty would just be like steaming, and he wouldn't have had any fun at all. So I'm glad the game was nondescript.
Oh, that's a good way to put it. Very nondescript.
Oh yeah. I guess to answer your actual question, my bad, cut you off. Answer the question. I didn't make it to Zebo's.
You did.
I was at Mark's last year. Personally, on the moment, yeah, Tony was the best. But also I think it was Tony, the energy. They also won last year. They had 9,000 players out.
Oh yeah,
lost to Philly Mark's night.
But didn't they still win though? I feel like for the 3-0 in jersey retirement, I could be misremembering.
No, they lost still. It wasn't blow. Like they were in it, but it was. Everybody was in street clothes. It was Timmy Allen. So it was players like that playing.
My guy, my guy,
cool,
Timmy.
It was tough. I think Brandon Clark returned that game or something. We interviewed Brandon Clark at that game. That's the only thing I remember.
Oh, I think you're right.
Watched Marcus Allen's retirement. So
one thing that was making the rounds during the game that I was able to see, like as someone someone who wasn't there, the sports world at large seems to agree that the Memphis Grizzlies retire. They honor their players in a way that is such that should be copied. Media everywhere was like, who does it right? These guys down in Memphis. It was really cool to see everyone else acknowledging how this city takes care of their guys. It was just really cool because it's easy for us to get blinders on as fans of the team who are there a lot. You guys you're there a lot, Parrish. It's nice to see the rest of the sports world not crap on us for a change. It seems like people are so eager to take a dump on Memphis. This seems like people were getting behind them for a change, which was really cool.
I don't pay attention to anything outside.
That's my guy.
So I went
that's
on.
my guy.
I went on, but that's what's up to hear that. That's good.
It's really cool. People just, because like I said, I was looking for anything to make the game exciting. And so I was online. What you got?
It goes to show you the difference in what players respect in players and what fans respect in players. Because more than any player, Tony Allen brought superstar, like A-list basketball players, Hall of Famers, to sit down and talk about him. Paul Pierce flew to Memphis.
Man,
they had KG.
I almost shed a tear. Shed a tear on his.
Him talking to Paul Pierce was probably next, other than him talking to his mom, was the two times during that that jersey retirement ceremony that I welled up a little bit. But that just goes to show you that it doesn't matter what anonymous Twitter account thinks. A guy who loves the Lakers, it doesn't matter what their perception of Tony Allen is. It matters what Memphis' perception of Tony Allen is and the players that played against him. And overwhelmingly, it's a 10 out of 10, for him. So,
man, it's just the one thing I'm glad you brought up his mama. his mom got a lot of airtime on the. She was because she was in the box with him, and I was just seeing him up there with his mom. It really anybody that would listen to me. We had people over at the house. I was like, do you guys know about this? I was just so eager to tell his story because I love his mom. I really like his mom. After the, just I don't know. I love that documentary. I was a big fan of. I still was partial to the Zebo one, but if you're a fan of this team, I think you are overwhelmingly. You just feel Tony Allen in your heart, which is just a really cool feeling to have a guy like that. That I don't know. I don't have a single negative thing to say about him. Like I don't think anybody does. I mean, like I don't. And he did say. I mean, he did that healthcare scam thing. I'm still just like, man, he just messed with the wrong people. I know that I'm still just in Tony Allen's corner all the time.
He made everybody whole.
Right?
Yeah, man.
He did the right thing in response to making a bad mistake.
Right.
100%. And that's right. You can find out a lot about a person by how they take responsibility for something.
Yeah, and crimes are just different, right? I mean, he didn't murder nobody. Like, okay.
Boom. Yeah.
Fraud. Okay. I can forgive you for that.
Maybe I'm
people that he frauded are fraud.
That's rich. Yes. Right. I'm like, there.
You tricked a trickster, okay?
If anything, he was ahead of the curb. He was ahead of the curb on that one.
Hey, I just got sent to Dr. Bill last week, unexpected bill. Like, bro, this is the reason
Mark
I go to the
Cuban
doctor,
tried to sign him as soon as he got heard the charges.
Yes. Oh God, I love Tony Allen.
I do want to ask, Drew, did you notice how Tony's wife, when he did his little speech at the end, did you notice that she was trying to make sure he stayed on stage?
Listen, he totally went off the rails, and only Tony Allen can do this. But poor Desi was trying to rein him in for 30 minutes, and he's just like. She would come and like put her arm around him and be like, okay. And then he would just spin move back to the back row. We're talking to Coupon back here.
Wait, is that real? Was that's
He made it to one side of the room. It was so funny. He went back here with Joe Kim and some of those folks. And then on the other side, he was like, I know I've been going a while, but Coupon, I'm getting to you. And at that point, everybody just kind of sat down and was like, all right, let's just get comfortable.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, man.
It was great. It was great. Did they have a tape delay on FanDuel Sports to hit the bleep button when he started dropping the F-bomb late in the show?
He could be a comedian.
Man, yes, that man has. I went to acting school. There's kids that I saw go into so much depth trying to learn what he does and just get comedic timing. That dude's funny. He's just
Some people are just born with it.
He is funny. Like I'm so glad he's still in the organization, just around the organization. But like the fact that he's on Vernon's show, it's just awesome.
He thanked Robert Perry. He's like, man, thank y'all for like standing beside him, standing behind him throughout all the issues. So
awesome. I told Rusty going up to, we ate in the stadium and, kind of hung out, got there early. And I was like, I kind of hope that, they set up the stage, they bring in all the players, but I hope to the side, they've just got 3 chairs and 3 microphones. It's going to be Tony Zebo, and then they just bring up whoever they want to talk to and have an Out the Mud podcast as this jersey retirement ceremony. And just like, let them chop it up, take it however long you want to, pull guys out of the pool of folks that came to see you and just do that. And that's not how they did it, but it turned into just a solo episode at the end where he just goes around,
Man,
they did something before the game. Because someone was telling me they saw Zebo and Tony like they was doing Out the Mud. Not a full-blown show, but they was doing something prior to the game. Because we interviewed Tony, and Zebo came in with a custom-made jacket. And I think it was
He had the Grindfather like letter jacket they made. It was dope.
That was right. That was dope. Yeah.
It was dope. I saw it. I was like, man, whoo. The one thing I want to Wayne will put this up here. It was really cool. Some of us have been fan of this team for a long time. Rudy Gay is our guy, and I love this. This was something that it really cool, and I think Rudy looked a little bit choked up.
He did.
He did.
It looked like it meant a lot to him, which was just really cool.
Well, by the time he left, it was like most of the fan base just hated him.
Yeah,
I was not necessarily. I don't remember.
I'd say most hated him. I think it was split. It was kind of split. I don't think it was like hating him, but it was kind of like they didn't mind.
Time to
like
go.
you and me at the age, I didn't mind them trading him just for fit. At me at the age, just think it fit wise. It just didn't seem like it fit. But it was more of a cheap. It was more cheapness. It probably was more cheap being cheap.
And but what the results were is that the team got better once they traded him, and that's kind of what you're left with. And I felt like he probably heard that and felt that to an extent because he thought he was the star player, and the team got better when they traded him. So I'm sure it was kind of weird at times for him to come back, and for TA to do that. I know Rusty, his favorite thing to say was like Rudy was a shooting guard who couldn't shoot. That's the only thing I ever heard Rusty say about it. And for him to like call out TA and then everybody to call out Rudy Gay and for everybody to give him that response and see him get choked up, like it was special. It was a moment during that ceremony.
It just seemed like a really special night for the team and just really cool. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm glad you guys got to be there. I feel like we could keep talking about Tony Allen if we wanted to, but there is a game tonight. The Grizzlies do play the Sacramento Kings tonight in Sacramento. John Moran is out with hamstring soreness. Soreness. I sound like I was a little confused. Do you know when?
So I did a post game bounce plus last night. Yes. I don't know when it's gonna come out, but I did say on there Friday after the game is Cleveland, and this is me. I always walk as an athlete, former athlete myself. I kind of always walk with a limp, and John Morant kind of walked with a limp coming to the locker room. I didn't think much of it because I'm like I always walk. Athletes kind of walk with a limp after the game, but then they said shoulder Saturday, but then they came back and said hamstring. That kind of checks out to where I saw him walking in the locker room on Friday. So
it didn't check out to anybody else. So I'm glad you provided that context. I didn't know that. I just saw him drop 44 points and then miss the next game.
Because he walked out after we interviewed him, he walked out fine. So it wasn't like it was just more like, okay, I just saw him athletes walk with a limp after they hoop. I do too.
I get that in the moment, you don't like the next morning, a lot of times you wake up with this stuff. As a high-level athlete, there's the adrenaline. There's, you're going for 44. You're putting everything on the line. You're not paying attention to the little bumps and bruises that you get during the game, especially when you're rocking like he was against Cleveland. It just sucked because there was a track record here, of kind of like, oh, he's probably gonna miss the next game, and Jared played the back-to-back, and
he finally played 6 straight. He finally played 6 straight. He finally played more than 5 straight games when he played against Cleveland.
Oh, was that game 6? Oh, hell yeah.
But he still can't make it through a 7-game series. I'm sorry. And I'm not trying to be critical, but I said Friday or Thursday on our $2 Sports Show, he said, what are you looking forward to outside of the TA jersey retirement? And I was like, do not screw this Tony Allen game up by sitting players on the second end of a back-to-back. That's what I said. Now, Josh sat out. If he's hurt, then I take back everything I said, and I've just been wrong. There's also a track record of him just not playing in back-to-backs, at the same time. So
it just it felt strange, the fact that we saw him. The fact the injury designation switched was just a little weird. It's like, this dude had a day off. What do you mean he got a ham? The optics. Shoulder bones connect to the.
Is that tendon that runs from your from your thigh to your shoulder?
Is that why when they hit you on the knee with the little hammer, your hand goes out? Is that what that is? So Jaw's out. Santi is doubtful. So we'll see Santi Wednesday or Wednesday or Friday. He's probably not playing tonight. That if there's someone that's doubtful, I feel like typically that means they don't play.
Yeah, they out. They're doubtful to play.
They're doubtful
the word
to be probable. Hey.
Probable means they're probably playing. Questionable means they're literally questionable. 50-50.
I went to acting school.
Probable anymore, right?
I went to acting school. I didn't go to English school.
Rare.
Scottie Pippen Jr. is questionable, which means questionable to play. If
That's
I'm correct.
50-50. That's game time. That's game time decision. Yeah, that's the one.
Man, Scottie Pippen's been playing really good ball. I'm actually,
Yeah.
he's been playing really well. If he's out, I guess we get more Luke Kennard minutes. And Cam
Spencer coming in.
Yeah, man, it's been really. I'm just happy to see Cam get minutes. Really fan of that UConn team the past 2 years, and so like seeing anytime you're able to see someone who I watch so little college ball and the teams that I do like to watch, I'm just glad when these guys translate. It's just nice. He just also seems to fit really well with these guys. I seem to like playing with him, which is
shooters fit in games. Now he's got a tenacity about him that I love, but shooters fit in offenses. It doesn't matter. That's the reason why I've always said Luke Kennard is always a trade piece.
Yeah,
somebody always wants a guy that can
shoot him.
Yep. Anybody that's shooting like significantly above league average by a skosh, because Luke's leading the league, and Cam Spencer, I think, is second or third on our team, or he's third after Jake, which is really funny that Jake's still third in on our team in 3-point percentage. Shut up. Speaking of, this could be Jake LaRavia revenge game. I don't know. I think Sacramento has all their guys. I don't think anybody of note is out. They might have some depth pieces out, a couple guys, but
Trey Lyles is questionable, if that does anything for you.
Trey
Lyles,
low key,
he
kills the Grizzlies. Yeah, he kills the Grizzlies. So yeah, that's big.
Kind of does. Anytime. I feel like all these West Coast teams that we play late have one guy that can just really cook our grits, and I don't like it. And I'm glad that he's out. Like I hope somebody's up.
He's questionable.
Oh, which is, we just discussed, is 50-50. Where's Sacramento? I'm getting up right now. Sacramento's in the ninth seed currently. They've lost 4 in a row.
They're gonna be ninth.
You think? Yeah, I don't see that.
It's gonna be hard to follow the team, and it's gonna be hard to get to 8. They're 9.
Yeah, that's the way Dallas is playing, and the way the other teams above them are playing.
Phoenix, they ain't following.
They stuck in the 9th seed. So, is there really any? I mean,
they can get rid of the play in this year.
They can what?
They can get rid of the play in this year.
Yeah.
The East Conference, they can cut out they can just do the top 16 and get Cleveland and Boston and back. Low key.
Yeah, the Eastern team's bad, man. We did an episode on the seeding one day last week, and I was trying to go and put these West teams in the East, and I was like, God, after the 6th, there's nothing. There is nothing over there. Like, woo, it's bad. But yeah, I don't know. The Grizzlies should win. I don't. That's the thing, they should.
They're
but
2.5-point underdogs.
Really? Oh, well, ja.
Because you're missing John.
No
They pretty much got their team.
No Morant, you're on the road.
Desperate 4-game losing streak. I think Sabonis, he missed like 6 in a row or something. I remember when they played the other night, when they lost to Golden State, they were saying he had been out. So I guess he's returning if he's not an injury report. So
rebounding should be fun tonight. We know that much.
Yeah, he had a triple-double.
I would say
2 days ago, Sabonis had 12, 11, and 12 against Phoenix.
So that's his first game pick. And they lost to Phoenix.
Ooh.
Listen, I don't care. But this team, you've got DeRozan and Levine and Sabonis. Like, they can go out and beat somebody. You better pack your bags, get a nap in, because you're going to have to rebound the ball.
Yeah, this team has a good starting unit. These boys they're all players that I really like, and Jake LaRavia. We have like they got Jake. Who knows what that's going to look like.
If he drops,
I ain't expecting him to do that.
Nope.
Laugh. I'm just going to. It's going to be poetic.
Moving on. I don't want to talk about
for it.
I don't want to stop it. I'm giving you way too much Jake LaRavia airtime already. Hopefully the Grizz win tonight. Let's move on to the other big news that happened over the weekend. Selection Sunday was yesterday. Whoo. I love this time of year. I love Mark. I love it. I love it.
I love the song.
Yeah, man.
All is tilt.
Where do you guys want to start talking about selection? Do you want to talk about Memphis being a 5
Ole
seed?
Miss is a 6 seed.
I
What are you
didn't want-
talking about? Where are we going to start?
Hey, we can talk about UT Vols being a 2 seed. If you want to
Two.
talk about that.
I mean, are you happy about that, Parrish? I feel like you dropped out.
Nah, I mean, it didn't matter. 2-1. It didn't matter. It didn't matter to me. I did
I
want
thought
to
they
win
were
the
a lot.
SEC championship.
I thought they were a lot
did
for
want
a
to win
1
the tournament.
seed. That's why I was curious.
Well, they had to win the tournament because
Yeah, they had
when
to
they
win the
lost
tournament.
to when we lost to Ole Miss, when we lost to y'all, we fell down to 2.
Mhm.
So I think we had to beat Florida. But even then, I still believe they probably gave Florida 1. We was 2. I think us losing to y'all pretty much.
I feel
dropped us.
like they did not want 3 SEC teams as 1 seeds.
Well, it was going to be. It was between us and Florida. Like, I guess the winner of the SEC championship game was going to get it. It was never going to
I
be 3.
understand.
It was always going to be 2. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, there's
And even in that
14
case, I
total.
still think Florida would have got it. And Auburn, low key should have got the #1 overall seed after how they ended.
Yeah,
the season,
I
but,
think so. Who are the favorites? Obviously, I mean, what would you say? Duke, Auburn, Houston.
Auburn guard play doesn't for tournament style. They guards normally your backcourt has to be like
Good.
on
I mean,
point.
It's
And
always
I think that's what's gonna hurt them. And it showed the
They
last
just
couple
defend.
games.
They just defend so well.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I have a hard. They're not a team I see. Famous last words. Getting upset early just because they're not going to
not
let
early.
they're not going to let a team, shoot 60% from 3. Like some of these, they're not going to do what's it? What was the guy's name from Oakland last year that just got hot?
Jack something. Jack. It was Jack.
I know. I'm not trying to bring up bad memories,
first
but like
name
that's
Jack. I know
kind
you're
of what
talking
you
about.
have to upset these high seed teams. Is gonna have a dude that just goes off. I just don't see that happening against Auburn.
no.
No, I don't think they'll be out the first weekend. It'll be later.
They'll make the Sweet 16 unless something terrible happens. I feel like I don't. You're bringing up guard play though. I do feel like March Madness. It's where these guys. It's where Cade Cunningham really made a name for himself. It's where these guys can go on runs where they win.
Derrick
Rose. Yes. There's. I'm
so
just,
Memphis got a shot with PJ Haggerty to make
Exactly.
at least get the second weekend because you got their guard that can
And-
just
And Memphis got a good draw. As a
Colorado
5
State.
seed.
They got Colorado State the first round.
Although they did show up as the lines opened up as an
They're underdogs, right? Yeah.
because Tyrese Hunter hurt. That's why.
But I could see that being one of the ones where a lot of people pick Colorado State and Memphis ends up. That could be one that I think
12-5
Yeah.
are always up.
12-5 already upsets.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
the thing too.
always.
Who
Who
always
do
played?
they meet in the second round? If they win.
UCLA or UCLA, New Mexico. No, that's Tennessee side. They play.
I
they
can
make
pull it up.
Maryland.
Man,
Maryland. or something.
Maryland's got a
Maryland.
good defense.
Maryland. But
Terps.
who Maryland play?
Let me see.
I know that's who they end up going against. Either Maryland.
It'll
or
be
whoever they play.
Maryland. Maryland's really good.
Maryland. Okay.
Grand Canyon. So yeah, Maryland.
Yeah, it'll be
like
Grand
that.
Canyon. Oh yeah, Maryland.
Bryce Drew.
You never know though.
Bryce, I've seen Bryce Drew humiliate me in a clip that I will see 5 times in the next week. Is that Valparaiso shot?
Oh,
against
yeah,
Ole Miss.
Valparaiso.
Bryce Drew hit that shot.
Oh
They
man.
stay showing that joint.
Ah!
And so, I mean, I'm excited. Ole Miss is the high seed
y'all
that
get
it's
the-
ever been since I've.
Y'all get to play in. Y'all get to play in winner.
We
North
could
Carolina,
get
San
North
Diego State.
Carolina, which is
Oh.
what everybody's up in arms about. Is that North Carolina, with having
Maybe.
a 1-12 record in quad 1 games, got in the tournament. But Ole Miss could draw them. They play the winner, San Diego State, who are 3 years removed from a national
Final
championship
Four.
runner-up,
Yeah.
Yep.
and North Carolina a blue blood. So either way, it's like Ole Miss is just like it's just a fun matchup. Like I hope that North Carolina wins because I want to see Ole Miss and North Carolina in NCAA tournament. Like that's just that's
Be
fun.
awesome.
Yeah. And then if they win, they get Iowa State they're in the Auburn bracket. So I am rooting for Auburn to get upset, but
Man, upsets are great. I don't know. Selection Sunday is just fun. March Madness is fun. We're gonna talk more as we get more into it, like our favorite matchups and stuff. I'm really excited it's here. I'm excited to watch. Tennessee as a 2 seed makes me happy. Memphis as a 5 seed makes me. I'm just happy. We got a good show in this year as a state, and I'm excited.
I'm glad they did right by Memphis.
Yes. Yes.
This should let Tigers fans know. Do not listen to Joe Lunardi. He's mostly wrong. A lot.
I don't know. Joe Lunardi normally gets all of them right. Like he's had perfect brackets before because he's got a
long time ago.
thing. But he was wrong about this, and
it's been wrong a lot over the last couple of years. Now, when we was like younger years ago, he was always right.
Yeah. The out of conference schedule was Memphis's greatest, check in their column because the American just sucks. I mean, there's no way around it.
Yeah. I'm excited either way. Hopefully we get to see. I would love to see some Tigers and some Vols on into late March. It'd be really nice.
Arkansas versus Kansas.
No,
with
I need to
potential matchup of Calipari and
Rick Pitino.
Yeah.
He did. That's what I saw.
And then else of local
St. John's,
Mississippi State is an 8-9 matchup against Baylor, and if they win that game, they play Duke, and it could be without Cooper Flagg. So,
Cooper Flagg's injury
that shakes stuff up.
I don't know. It shakes stuff up a lot. I should be an asterisk by then. The rest of the I don't know. I'm excited. We'll go ahead and let you get out of here, Parrish. We kept you a little bit longer than normal, brother. Thank you for staying with us and talking. Sweet. Well, we'll let you get out of here. We'll be back in give me 15 seconds, y'all. We will be right back to talk a little bit of Mondays and a little bit of lasagna right after this.
Tune in to the $2 Sports Show with Rusty Witten and Drew Gann every Tuesday and Thursday live at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Say it again. I think you're muted. I'm muted.
I'm muted. I'm back.
There we go.
Didn't see the commercial. I just heard it and I was like, who the hell knows what's going on? Anyway, back to the show. Hey, we were in the right spot. That's all that matters, right? I don't know.
That's it.
Hey, it's Monday. And on Mondays around here, we talk about things that go right and go wrong, like that commercial break. Garfield the cat. Side note, I've started getting the Sunday paper. Garfield the cat still slaps. He still slaps. He still slaps. But anyway, so on Mondays, we talk about things that we loved and that we did not love from the weekend. Our Mondays and our lasagna, as it were. I'm happy to go first. So, you have children.
Yes.
You understand. You don't have a teenager yet, do you? How old's your oldest?
10.
Teenagers suck. They just suck. I had plans this weekend multiple times, and guess what? Those plans were uprooted and turned on their head because of one child. And I love this. I love him to death. I love him so much. But I forget that when you get to teenagers, you just kind of rewire your brain. I did it. You did it. I just forgot. I'm so far removed from that time.
Right.
I just kind of forgot. And so my Monday was just like, man, teenagers. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to keep it nice. And my lasagna, he's with his dad's this week. So it's going to be I love him. I love him. If he were here, he's great. But, it was spring break. He didn't have school last week. And so he was home all day while I was working. And I was just like, oh my God. I'm starting to do the little.
Will you go play outside?
Yes. And that's the thing. I can't even be mad because I did the same thing. He was playing video games. And I've turned into an old man where I'm like, why don't you go outside and get some fresh air?
My mama used to lock the door and force us outside.
So I guess what I should say is I hate what I've become. Anyway, what was yours?
All right. Listen. My lasagna is I went and spent the week outside Orlando, Florida, and we had a blast. We stayed in this massive house that somehow was super cheap. It was so cheap that I was like it cost 3 families split it 3 ways, and our cut was like $800 for this house.
That's awesome.
And we brought 19 people and had room to spare, and it was so cheap that I was worried that this place is going to be like, in a housing project somewhere. Like we just didn't realize what we were getting ourselves into.
You thought there was someone that you missed somewhere signing or something.
Oh yeah. It's like, in the fine print, it was like has holes in the roof, but it was so cool. Like every room had its own theme.
What?
And because it was right outside Disney. We didn't go to Disney, but it was right outside Disney. And so there was like the home theater was Avatar themed. Like there was moss on the roof, on the ceiling, and Avatar
What?
cutouts with backlit. And there was a Star
What?
Wars room that was incredible, that had 4 bunk beds in it, in like cockpits of spaceships. And then there was a Little Mermaid room and a Minion. Like I did our show in the Minions room. It looked like Minions Village. I had one of the Minions over my shoulder the whole time.
That makes
And then-
so much more sense now.
Yeah, there was like a Harry Potter room, a Harry Potter themed room. Like it had its own pool, like a private pool, and then it was like part of like a golf course resort thing. And so like it had a resort pool with a lazy river and slides and stuff. Like it's the only time since we've had children that we've gone on a vacation and actually been able to like relax.
Vacay.
Yeah. Like because typically you're running around chasing kids and whatnot. And
Yeah.
the 1-year-old is, we've got to have hands on him at all times. But the rest of them, there was a game room with a pool table, air hockey table,
Oh my
and
God.
6 TVs and 3 Xboxes.
Oh
And
my
so like, we never saw the older kids.
God.
To talk about your son, like we were in Florida, and I had to stop myself so many times from just yanking the TVs off the wall and just be like, "We're in Florida. We have our own pool. Get outside." We drove my Monday. It took us 12 hours to get there.
Oh my God, you
Um,
poor bastards.
And so we get there like 8:00 on Sunday night, and we wake up Monday morning, and my son, who is 8 years old, and his friend from the other family were up at 6 a.m. playing Fortnite. And I was like,
Fortnite.
go
What
to
the?
bed now. And so I talked about on our show. I was like, Rusty, I had grand plans of like doing a show in a different room every time we did it. Like the first day I did the Minions, the next time I was going to do it in like the Star Wars room, and then, just hop around. By the time I wanted to move to the Star Wars room, which was the boys' room, like at 1:00 Eastern time when I wanted to record, those jokers were still asleep.
Oh, dude. Oh man, that's the worst. That's
I'm
the worst.
And my wife, she was just like, "It's vacation." I was like, "Okay, I'll dial it back." But
It's tough though, man. I'm in the same boat. I'm like, I'm sitting here working, and he's still sleeping. I'm like, listen, he needs to get a job, cut his hair. What are we? What are we, Uncle Buck?
I couldn't do that. I couldn't work it from home with kids that are at home. Like, it's rough. My wife's a school teacher, and so like I like coming home when they're in like on break and stuff, and coming home and eating lunch.
Yeah.
Like at home, because everybody's there, and it's I get to see everybody on my lunch break. But immediately when I walk in the door, I'm just like, this house is a mess. What have you guys been doing all day? And they're like, eating Cheetos.
There's just like a face print, like of Cheeto fingers on their face.
Yeah. It's like, why is there
Nothing.
Cheeto dust on the refrigerator door?
The dog. You're like, what?
Like, do something. Do something.
I don't care. Just do anything. Shout out, kids. We love them. If you're watching this episode, I know you're not. I know you're not. I know your kids
better
aren't. I
not
know
be.
you better not be. Yeah. What? Shoot. Spring break's over. You better be on your way to school. Shoot. I'm gonna call you dad. That's gonna do it for our show today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We're gonna be back tomorrow. The show will be back tomorrow. Stay up if you can tonight. I mean, this week's gonna be rough. We got 3 West Coast games. Gross. Go Grizz. If we can leave you with anything today, like we normally do, remember these 2 things. Remember to be a little weird, and remember to smile. Bye, guys. We will be back tomorrow. Oh, God.